Commander Bob Crippen now in the White Room, putting his Snoopy hat on, and then he'll be putting on his launch and entry helmet. During the first few flights of the shuttle, a full pressure suit was needed, and so the helmet's attached to that suit. However, nowadays, only coveralls are used, plus a special harness, which is used for restraint and emergencies. And Commander Bob Crippen being brushed off with a whisk broom, and now his shoes being wiped off so that he doesn't track any dirt into the clean interior. And he has just patted the suit technician on the back and is now entering the orbiter Challenger. Pilot Rick Hauck moving into the area, shaking hands with the technicians up there prior to putting on his vest. And he'll be the second one to enter the orbiter for the 7th mission of the Space Shuttle. The countdown clock at T-minus 2 hours, 5 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. This is shuttle launch control. Of course, the focus of media attention around the world has been on Dr. Sally Ride, who emphasizes that she's a mission specialist and a scientist who just also happens to be a woman. However, as the first woman to fly in space on board a U.S. spacecraft, history is undoubtedly going to focus on that as well as her accomplishments to date, such as a doctorate in physics from Stanford University. She's married to Dr. Stephen A. Hawley, who also is an astronaut. And she was also selected in 1978 and served as capsule communicator for the STS-2 and STS-3 missions. During this mission, she's going to have a number of vital tasks to perform, such as launching the Palapa satellite and deployment and recovery of the SPAS-1 spacecraft, honors that she'll share with fellow mission specialist John Fabian. Dr. Thagard has the distinction of being the first medical doctor to fly, and he will be taking a close first-hand look at the effects of motion on human in space. Prior to starting his medical studies, he had been a captain in the Marine Corps and a naval aviator, flying 163 combat missions in Vietnam. He then came back to the States and took his Doctor of Medicine degree from Texas Southwestern Medical School in 1977 and was an intern when he learned of the call for new astronauts and was selected for that program in 1978 also. T-minus 25 seconds and counting. The sequencer on board now controlling the final seconds. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. The body flap and speed breaker in launch position. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We go for main engine start. We have main engine start. And the ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of STS-7 and America's first woman astronaut. And the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Roger your roll, Challenger. Houston now controlling. Mission control confirms roll maneuver started. Ground time on all S channels 217 20 seconds. Rust looks good. 25 seconds. Roll maneuver completed. 30 seconds. Challenger now 1 nautical mile in altitude. Throttling engines down now to 75% as programmed. 40 seconds. The Challenger now 2.5 nautical miles in altitude. 45 seconds. Challenger now 3 nautical miles in altitude. 50 seconds coming up now and create a maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. 55 seconds. Challenger 4.5 nautical miles in altitude. Mark 1 minute. Pass through max Q, still looking good. Throttling engine back to 104%. Give it a go at throttle up. Challenger Houston, you're going throttle up. Roger, going throttle up. Mark 1 minute 25 seconds. Challenger now 11 nautical miles altitude, 8 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reaching 3,700 feet per second. Mark 1 minute 40 seconds. Challenger now 16 nautical miles in altitude, 13 nautical miles downrange. Crippen, Hauck and Company now coming into the last traces of the Earth's atmosphere. Challenger now 19 nautical miles in altitude. 1 minute 55 seconds. Challenger 21 nautical miles in altitude, 21 nautical miles downrange. Standing by now for solid rocket booster separation. Roger, set. 12 minutes 12 seconds. Confirm good solid rocket booster separation. The booster's falling away now. 2 minutes 20 seconds. Challenger Houston, your first stage performance was nominal. Roger, nominal first stage. That was Capcom Roy Bridges advising first stage performance. Onboard guidance is converging now as programmed. Challenger is now steering for a precise window in space for main engine shutdown. 2 minutes 40 seconds. Challenger 35 nautical miles in altitude. Standing by now for 2-engine TAL capability. Challenger Houston, you have 2-engine TAL capability. Roger, 2-engine TAL. Mark 3 minutes. That call up by Capcom Roy Bridges says the Challenger now has landing capability at Dakar Airport should one engine go out. Mark 3 minutes 10 seconds. Challenger's 3 main engines continue to run smoothly. Challenger's 5-person crew really moving out now. Velocity now reading 7,200 feet per second. Three minutes 25 seconds. Challenger 45 nautical miles in altitude. A return status check and mission control by Flight Director Jay Green. 3 minutes 35 seconds. Crew aboard Challenger given a go to continue. 3 minutes 40 seconds. Challenger 48 nautical miles in altitude, 105 nautical miles downrange. Standing by now for negative return call up by Capcom Roy Bridges. Challenger Houston, negative return. Roger, negative return. 3 minutes 57 seconds. With that call up, Crippen, Hauck, ride. Fabian Thagard committed to space travel. Roger that. Four minutes 10 seconds. The flash evaporator has been activated to provide cooling for Challenger. Mark 4 minutes 20 seconds. Challenger now 54 nautical miles in altitude, 155 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 9,500 feet per second. Mark 4 minutes 35 seconds. Challenger 55 nautical miles in altitude, 174 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 10,000 feet per second. Four minutes 50 seconds. Challenger 56 nautical miles in altitude, 196 nautical miles downrange. Mark 5 minutes. Standing by now for press to MECO.
Challenger Houston, press to MECO.
Roger, press. Lord, appreciate it. 5 minutes 10 seconds. A press to MECO call from Capcom.
That sounds great, Grip.
The press to MECO call says, should Challenger lose one engine, press on, keep flying forward. Challenger's engines have enough energy to achieve normal altitude and velocity at cutoff. 5 minutes 30 seconds. Challenger 58 nautical miles in altitude, 260 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 13,000 feet per second. 5 minutes 42 seconds. Standing by now for single engine TAL capability.